This dovetails with what the Trump organization's attorneys were saying. We just heard them at the microphone, basically saying that this is the Attorney General, Letitia James, doing this because she personally promised that she was going to get Donald Trump and that she doesn't like his politics. Your thoughts?
So let's be clear, those lawyers, when they were at the microphone, that was for an audience of one, and that was Donald Trump. For context, today is a bad day for Donald Trump. We heard Michael Cohen say this. The Trump organization is Donald Trump. And these prosecutors did not bring this case lightly. They don't want to have this case and then not make it and go all the way. I think the other thing that Michael Cohen mentioned that's worth repeating is that the Trump organization is Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump and Ivanka Trump. That is a tremendous problem for the entire family. And finally, I just think we need to point out that there were two things that were bad for Donald Trump today. One was this indictment, which, as Ellie's been going through, is very lengthy, very detailed. But the other is, to bring it back to Washington, Nancy Pelosi announced the Select Committee on January 6th today. And Liz Cheney, a very conservative Republican, agreed to be on that committee. These two things are going to be happening at the same time, no matter how many exclamation points Donald Trump wants to make in these statements.
Jen Rogers, now that you have heard, Ellie, I want to get your final thoughts. Michael Cohen thought that you were spot on with your previous analysis. So now that you've read through this, what do you think?
I'm not quite sure what to make of that comment from Michael Cohen. We do have to be careful about one thing, though. Prosecutors have a very high burden of proof, and it's very specific. It's not enough to say, of course the boss knew. It's not enough to say, look, we have piles and piles of documents. You need to show that the person you're charging had specific intent to break the law.
Well, okay, let me just interrupt you right there. I mean, we just told you in the indictment, it said that Donald Trump had signed one of the checks for the tuition for Alan Weisselberg's grandchildren. If that's not reflected on any tax document, doesn't that tie Donald Trump to it or no?
Perfect example. That's actually exactly where I was going. So what that proves is Donald Trump knew they were paying tuition to benefit Alan Weisselberg or his family. But that's not enough. You have to prove also that he knew they weren't reporting it as tax, because that's the tax evasion. So did Donald Trump know they were paying tuition, know they were paying cars, know they were paying rent? Maybe. That's not a crime to pay people fringe benefits. The crime is not reporting it, and his defense will be, where's your proof that I knew or directed that we're not reporting this? So that's what's missing here.
That's interesting, Ellie, because if Alan Weisselberg is the CFO, he should have been reporting it. And does that give Donald Trump cover to say, that's why I hired the guy. He's my CFO. He does our taxes.
Exactly. This is what we see all the time. Anytime you're trying to get into a closed organization, the boss always has that cover, whether it's a corporation, a large one or a small one like the Trump organization, a mafia family like Jennifer and I used to prosecute, any kind of ring. The boss always has the most insulation. It's hardest to get to the boss. He has the easiest way to say, that's not me. I didn't deal with that. I have people for that. I didn't know. I didn't direct it. That's going to be a challenge here.
I mean, Jennifer, Jen, we only have a few seconds left, but Michael Cohen felt that this time was going to be different and that this time they were going to be able to tie Donald Trump to that. I don't know if you have any thoughts in 10 seconds.
I mean, we will have to see. They have a lot of documents. I am heartened, as Ellie was, by some of the language in the indictment, but they do have a lot of proof to get in before they can charge.
Guys, thank you all very much. It's great to get your analysis and your expertise.